One Australian girl has been discriminated against by the company behind Nutella. Nutella just had a recent marketing program where they allowed people to personalize jars of Nutella with their names. Well, the aunt of this 5-year-old Australian girl by the name of ISIS wanted to do that, and unfortunately Nutella put a stop to it because, as you know, ISIS is the name of a terrorist organization in the Middle East, Syria and Iraq to be specific. Now, the Hazelnut Company's campaign launched Make Me Yours just a few months ago, and then after they got negative media attention for denying this cute little girl her own personalized jar, they decided to remain defiant. And they said, look, we know that she's not named after a terrorist organization. We know that ISIS is actually an Egyptian goddess of fertility. But even so, we think that this is a bad idea. Now, people also had kind of, I guess, a good time with the jars. You could, like, basically put whatever you want on the online version of this campaign to see what the jar would look like. So people had all sorts of insane names like poop, bread shit, and also cat fluid. As soon as Nutella noticed that this was happening, they put a stop to the previews for the personalized Nutella jars online. Now, I think that this is just another example of people going above and beyond when it comes to terrorist threats and also when it comes to PR nightmares. It's ironic that Nutella did this in an effort to prevent a PR nightmare, but in the process of doing so, they actually led to a PR nightmare. Right. Just let it go. It's a 5-year-old. ISIS means something completely different. Sometimes words have different meanings, right? Like the Young Turks. The Young Turks in America has a different meaning from the Young Turks a century ago. Yeah. And people have a hard time understanding that a Young Turk is a rebel against societal expectations. So you have to constantly explain to people what the show means, what the name of the show is. But some people, unfortunately, don't understand nuance or varying definitions. But I want to know what you guys think. Hank, make your point.
This is funny. I wish Nutella had learned this lesson from Bill Cosby, who about a year and a half ago, his website, his team also decided to do a campaign where you could like label your own Cosby meme, and they had all these faces of like, you know, classic like stills from his show. Of course, people went buck wild, like, hey, you know, who wants pudding pop and rape? You know, shit like that. It was hysterical. They also went and just, this is the exact, I wouldn't be surprised if we were like the same website algorithm. I was like, this is exactly what happened. And the thing is, I laughed about the ISIS story because I know a girl named Isis.
Yep.
And people have been like, girl, you need to change your name.
That's
and
ridiculous.
She's very redundant. But I see what, I can see both sides, because when I was in high school, I knew a guy whose name was spelled P-H-U-C. He's Vietnamese. His name was Fuck Nguyen. And I'm like, you know, maybe you should just call yourself Michael while you're here. You know, like maybe, so it's kind of like, why invite trouble if you don't need to? But this girl is 5. I think that it could go either way. I think Fuck Nguyen should have changed his name to something a little more.
Yeah, Fuck is kind of on another level.
P-H-U-C.
He could just own that, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he could become a porn star.
Yeah, he could.
He's got a built-in name.
I don't know what he looks like now. This is when he was a teenager. But ISIS is, you know, it's ISIS. This is, I don't know if ISIS will always have the meaning that it means today.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's a good point.
Right.
How about you, Colin? Make your point.
Yeah, a couple things, actually. One, you have to assume that if you put customizable anything on the internet, people will go crazy.
Yes.
Reddit and 4chan, and everybody will come over. I remember Mountain Dew did it once, where you could name a new flavor.
Yes.
And the one that won was something like Hitler had some good ideas. And so, of course, and they had to sit there and wait. They didn't have the foresight to take it down. So one, don't do that. That's silly. People vote on where I move, and as soon as the war started happening in Syria, all the votes were for Syria for a couple of months. Because it's the internet. I mean, people are having fun.
People
it's
are
funny.
jerks.
Yeah, and you just have to kind of look at it and say, oh, kids, come on, you're having your fun. But two, how sad is it that they missed this incredible PR opportunity? Because I understand brand-wise why they don't want ISIS written on their label and spread all over the internet, but that's a community, a design by committee decision, and that makes sense to have that just there. But it's this issue, it's a little girl. They had the opportunity when they raised this to just say, you know what, this is our policy, but for you, we're gonna send you 20 cases with your name on it. And then they would have been the good guys that broke their own rule for a specific situation that warranted it.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite way to eat Nutella? That's the personal question for the story. I'll start with a spoon. Hank, what about you?
Toast. I lived in London for half a year, studied abroad. That's how the Brits do it. So just
So good.
no wrong way to eat it, though.
There really isn't. Like, I want to swim in a pool of Nutella.
Oh,
That's
it's
how
so
much
good.
I love it. I just love it. Anyway, what about you, Colin?
Don't judge me. I've never had Nutella.
How is that even possible?
Can we get out the jars of Nutella?
I'm
like
sorry,
Colin's
I've
in?
never had it. I know. I've somehow managed to avoid it. It's one of those things I feel like I missed a trend. Suddenly everybody was like, Nutella this, it's on all the hipster toast. Like, it's Nutella everywhere. And I'm like so far behind, I don't know a starting point because everybody else is so familiar. They know this person already and I'm still a stranger.
Well, it's time to get acquainted.
Yeah,
that's
Time
what
to
I
get
hear.
Nutella,
acquainted.
Colin is
I'll take
not
recommendations.
at Carousel, so you can go and send him his
You can leave
personalized
comments,
jar.
recommendations, and I'll eat some Nutella.
It's so good. Let me just warn you, when I first started eating Nutella, I immediately gained 15 pounds. I'm not even kidding you because it's so addictive. I would come home from school and literally eat it with a spoon. And I'd have like milk or water next
Where
to
was
me.
this?
So.
In Jersey? Like when
No,
you're,
no,
hold on,
this
hold
is
on.
in LA.
Oh, in LA. Okay.
Yeah, even with all the like anorexic models running around making me feel guilty about my own body,
Right.
like I still didn't care. I was like, I gotta have this.
It wasn't
Nutella.
common in the States until recently, so I'm surprised that you got it when you were. You must have had a
I
hookup.
have family in Germany.
There we go.
And they would like send it over in
There we
like
go.
care packages.
It was a war thing, wasn't it? When they ran out of they ran out of cocoa, and then they started using hazelnut instead of the cocoa.
Oh, is that
and
true?
So yeah, I know the history.
Look at this guy. Look at this
Oh,
guy.
all right.
I know some of the
Dropping
history.
that knowledge.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little
Boom.
knowledge nugget for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us your favorite way of eating Nutella. What do you think? And also, maybe you disagree with us on this Nutella campaign. Maybe you think that they did the right thing in denying this little girl a personalized jar of their product. Comment in the section below. Tell us what you think, and we'll see you soon. Hey guys, I have an awesome new announcement for you. Turns out that The Point will be hosted on the video platform watchable.com. All you have to do is go to watchable.com and search for The Point, and boom, you'll see our videos, you'll see our content, and we really want to make sure that The Point is available on all these different and awesome, great platforms. So take a look, tell us what you think, and we'll see you soon.